October 8th. The Batman is 2 years into his role as Gotham City's embodiment of vengeance, a nocturnal vigilante who strikes fear in the hearts of criminals. A reclusive scion of Gotham's richest family questioning his family's legacy. The world's greatest detective stalks the streets at night, employing a lethal combination of mental mastery, physical strength, and expert technology on his journey to becoming the city's symbol of hope. But that happens later in the movie, because, for the most part, he starts off as vengeance. That's right, today we are looking at the McFarlane Toys Robert Pattinson Batman. And I don't have the normal version of him. This is the unmasked version, where you have the Robert Pattinson likeness that's kind of there. So, here he is. Here's vengeance. If you're wondering how tall he is, here he is compared to the Spider-Man figure that's always in my videos now. He comes up to a similar height to Spider-Man. And as far as how tall he actually stands, if you go from the bottom of his feet to the top of his head, looks like he's just about 7.5 inches, give or take. And if you flip that around into centimeters, again, going from the bottom to the top of his head, looks like he's about 18 centimeters, give or take. And despite what some people might think, I think this is a very good figure. I think the likeness to Robert Pattinson is there enough so you can tell which version of Batman this is. But I also think that it's stylized enough that this could work as a comic figure. The main reason why I say that is because his cowl isn't actually structured like this in the movie. It's not a hood. It doesn't flip over around like that. It's its own separate thing, like what the trading card would have you believe. So, here he is. He has the black marks over his eyes to hide his appearance more when he's not wearing the mask. And even in wearing the mask, it hides his identity even more than it normally would. I like his hair, the way it's sculpted. I think it works really well. His face, it looks good. As far as the rest of his body, it definitely looks like the Batman suit from the 2022 movie. I like the details of the belt, where everything is there. All of the pouches, all of the accessories, they all fit there. The shoulder pads look good. So does the cape. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom, like most Batman interpretations have, but it was accurate to the movie. I like the shoulders, how that looks, but I also like the forearms with the elbows. You have sort of the continuation of the sculpt. And with the forearms, the gauntlets, these are soft pieces. They move around a lot, but the wrist darts look good. So do the gloves. And then going down the knee pads look good. And the boots, you can see the shoelaces where he ties them on so that they stay better. And I just overall really like this suit. It reminds me of my all-time favorite Batsuit, which is the Batsuit from Batman Arkham Origins. And it is similar enough to that, where I like it. It was what made me want to get this figure. That, and also I thought the movie was very good. I think it's one of the best Batman movies that has been made. Speaking of bat, the bat symbol itself looks good. It's a good symbol, a good representation, something unique that fits the mold for this universe and this interpretation of the Batman. That's about all I have to say for the aesthetic. But as far as the articulation is concerned, the head, with the cowl being back here, it doesn't go up very high. It only goes up about that much. And it goes down about that far. And considering he spends a lot of time brooding, that's how he normally is for the movie. The rotation is limited, again because of the cowl on the back. But you do get a bit of a side-to-side rotation there, and that's good. The shoulders go up about like that, but sometimes they come off. And I wasn't expecting that, but that's okay. It can plug back in with relative ease, I think. This has actually never happened to me before. But I will worry about that later. For now, you get the idea where his arm goes up about that far. comfortably without the shoulder getting in the way. You do have a bit of a bicep swivel. It might be easier to show it on this arm, that the bicep swivel is only slightly there. The double-jointed elbow works as you would expect, and there is a ball hinge for the wrist, and because of the way it's pegged in, you do have a bit of a rotation swivel there. I will worry about that arm later. For now, with the torso, I'll show it on this side. You can have both sides of the torso working together. Batman could go back that far, and he can go forward. Very much not at all. But you do have rotation and that sort of thing. For the legs, they can go forward about that far, and back about like that. I think that's pretty good. And then as far as going out to the sides, I'd say it's far enough, and understandably so, because this armor, despite being lightweight and practical, it is still armor, and thus a little bit encumbering. As far as the knee is concerned, it is double-jointed, and the proportioning is a little strange, but I think it works. It's serviceable enough for what it is. Then, as far as the boot, it can turn around like this. It's on the traditional McFarlane ankle articulation. I know what I'm talking about. It can go back that far. It can go forward about that far. And it can rest comfortably in the middle. And you do have a toe articulation, as you would expect with McFarlane figures. I'm going to try again to plug the arm back into place, because I wasn't expecting it to come off like that. But it is all okay, because I will figure out how to do that another time. For now, I will leave it off to show you that this figure is not entirely perfect. It is in fact quite old. This figure is 2 years old, and even came out before the movie was released. But I think because Batman was 2 years into his career when the movie came out, when it takes place, I think that makes sense to review this figure 2 years after he came out, more or less. As far as accessories are concerned, he does come with a batarang, which is somewhat accurate to the movie, even though it should be curved like it is here. Because if you don't know, the batarang is actually this. It comes out from the armor and is used as its own device. So it's sort of inaccurate in that respect, but this figure was released before the movie came out, so they didn't really know that. He does come with a traditional DC display stand that works well enough for what it is, and he comes with a trading card. And despite what the image would suggest, he does not come with an alternate head or a cowl, so I don't know what they were doing there with that. That doesn't really work. On the back you have a read-up that I read at the beginning of this video to set the mood for what kind of figure this is. Lastly, you do have the box. There's the Batman logo on it, on the bottom, and up here on the top, and on the side. And it shows that this is Batman Unmasked from the Batman. And on the back, you have the same image from the trading card, only expanded, and it shows all of the detail, including the cowl that does not come with the figure, and more information there. Not really much else on the side or the bottom, or anything like that. That is all I have to say for now, because I think that if you are a fan of the movie, and you like this interpretation of Batman, I actually recommend getting this figure the most, despite the fact that his arm came off. The first one, the cowl looked strange, and he came with a hand that was just like this, nothing more. And that was kind of weird. And then there was the one that came in the Batman movie 6-pack that had a weird wash over him, which didn't really fit the other figures, and he had a cape that didn't look very good. So I would say, in my opinion, that if you want to get a Robert Pattinson Batman figure, this is the one to get. And if you enjoyed this video, do be sure to leave a like. And if you like my edgy voice that I decided to have for this video and this video only, then do be sure to leave a like for that. Because I can do voices. Oh yes, I can do many voices. So, if you want to stay tuned for more upcoming reviews that don't have an edgy voice, then do be sure to subscribe, because there will be more videos coming based off of the Batman movie. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.